Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we got episode 182 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's looking for the Chaos Emeralds with me tonight?
Hello, it's Nate, again, with Sonic.
Why?
Why am I here for Sonic?
How do we start this? Wasn't SA2 your first Sonic game ever?
That I beat, yes.
Okay. And now
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, playing the edgiest of edgy games. And who else is with me tonight?
Hey guys, it's Alyssa.
And our final guest.
Hi there, this is Reis Mahnic.
All right, and welcome back to all three of you. You guys are been on a few episodes since then.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Sonic team.
Yeah, it's become that way. And for some unknown reason, of all the great Sonic games there are for us to play on this show, my dumbass decided for us to play Shadow the Hedgehog. That I came out, I can't even, what year did this damn game come out?
It released in 2005.
Okay, thank you. Because I went to pull up Shadow the Hedgehog while I was talking, and instead I just pulled up the wiki of the character, not the game itself, which is not normally when you type in the name of a game. You don't normally get.
Read the wiki for the character, please. When did Shadow the Hedgehog was born? Which is
Sonic
a
Adventure 2.
perfectly good grammar. That was his first game, really.
Yeah.
Okay. We probably covered that in Sonic Adventure 2, but I don't remember.
That's all right. I mean, so this game is a sequel to Sonic Adventure 2, but not really, because none of that matters, because it's a Sonic game and story don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest connective tissue to this is that the president uses the same character model.
Oh, and this game was made by Sega, Sonic Team, published by Sega. Yeah, so. And it came out for GameCube, PS2, Xbox. And I don't know if you can believe this. This has never been re-released in 2005. Can't believe that. So this is...
I mean, Sonic is having kind of a resurgence. You think we'll see a re-release eventually?
No.
He fixed a lot of stuff. Added more enemies to jump past.
This game will never be re-released.
I have a question for you guys. How did you guys play this? Like, what system did you guys play this on? Well, Mike, I know you, but...
I played on GameCube. This is a GameCube that was hooked up to my PC at the same time. So weird.
I, too, played the GameCube version.
I also played
GameCube.
I played on a native GameCube, not an emulated one. I did take full advantage of GameCube's up-resing features, and it actually looked reasonably sharp at 480p, and it ran at 60 frames by and large.
Oh, and I should ask, does anyone have any memories of this game from back in the day? Anyone play this back in the day?
No.
No.
Yes. My friend let me. I remembered as I played through the first level. He lent me his PS2 copy, and I played like 5 minutes of it, and I said, nope, this ain't it.
I have a copy of this, I think, on GameCube. I'm looking at my stack right now, and I can't see it on my shelf, but I know I had this for one of the systems back in the day. I know I played it for the first or 2 levels, and I saw all the branching paths and everything. I'm like, I'll get to this later. And that was back in probably 2005, 2006. I just now played the game finally. So it's been on my list. It's also been on the list of the show notes to put on the show for very early on. And I just never wanted to waste a pick because I wasn't excited to play this. But I did now. Just because. And I regret that said decision. So this game is a Sonic game, but it's a Sonic game with guns. I mean, that's what it's most known for. There's probably a very well-known meme that goes around of it. There's a statue of Shadow, I'm assuming it was E3, where he's holding a freaking handgun. And people were like, I know one of the guys from, I think, at Laser Time, it used to be part of Laser Time, Brett. There's a picture of him kneeling in front of it with his hands behind his back while he's getting shot at by Shadow in the big statue. But it's just a weird-ass game. I mean, it plays like a Sonic game for the most part, but then you pick up guns for some reason. I just don't get it.
Guns and other random weapons.
Don't understand.
And like even none of the guns look like actual guns, but then like the icon would just be a handgun, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's what that alien had.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have rather had it all been like alien weaponry and future weaponry, not actual like looking handguns and submachine guns and AR, like assault rifles. Like it's just really weird in this world.
I have a lot of not nice things to say about this game, but I'm getting the nice stuff out of the way right now. I really appreciate a game that has the dedication to make every single button in the menu do a very, very loud gun sound effect every time you hit a button. Really good stuff there. Keep it up.
That threw me off when I first picked up this game. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it for the show, and I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden I hear boom, boom, like gunshots. I'm like, what the hell?
It's really good. Yeah.
It's just such a strange game. I mean, I don't even understand it. So originally when we put this on the show, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for the true ending, which is I thought you only had to beat the game like 7. I didn't know how many times you beat the game, but I knew you had to get other ending and go through level. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. That was my plan. I posted about it on Facebook, and it was shortly after I started playing this. I was still gonna do it, especially because I was unemployed this week. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play through this game. I got time, and I beat it 4 times. I was working on my 5th time where I just said fuck this shit and just was done. Because you have to beat the game 10 times to unlock the true ending and final boss fight. And that's going through the same set of levels. It's just, and then beating the last level of each set a different way to unlock the different ending. But you can't do stage select and pick that level and do it that way. You have to play through the whole game. You got to play the first level 10 times. And that's not.
Like we talked about, that first time you go through and all you're doing is just beating each of the levels.
Fun.
Yeah, there's a Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 level of charm to like, okay, this is kind of fun. It's not like incredible video game design, but like it's an all right time. Levels don't have quite as much flow, I think, as Sonic Adventure 2, whatever. But the moment you start having to complete these frustrating objectives where you're hunting down every enemy in a level, that's when the whole thing falls apart.
Well, that, and they hide enemies too. Almost every level that had you kill every enemy, there are enemies hidden usually past the goal somewhere else in random little places that you have to go to. Like, it is not easy to figure out.
Yeah, it's awful. It's a lot of running around the levels, not knowing what to do.
Maybe it was most likely a me problem, to be honest, but a lot of the enemies just looked like I couldn't differentiate between, okay, that is one of the bad guys that I need to kill to get, like, good ending. And then, oh, that is a good guy that, I need to kill to get the evil ending. Like, they all just like blended together to me, and it's like, oh, okay, whoops, I made the red bar go up.
I don't know who Giant Worm is fighting for. What side of the team is Giant Worm?
Exactly.
It didn't matter. As long as, because chances are if you were trying to go for one objective, you wouldn't kill every one of the other objectives, just because you're for sure going to miss somebody in this, just because the way that any amount of enemies they want you to kill in a level is ridiculous.
Yeah.
For these objectives, like 30 plus people you have to kill in these large, think of like a Sonic Adventure level. Because that's a good example of Reset, and that's how big they are. But here you are having to go through each little section looking for hidden enemies in different paths, and it's just stupid.
Yeah, they also give you companion characters in every level, and they like to remind you what objective you should be doing.
Yeah.
Constantly. We got 1 of 5 key cards. We got 2 of 5 key cards. Okay. Like, I know.
I'm like, oh wait, do I? Okay.
It's just so much dumb shit.
Has Charmy ever come back in the series?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Let me know which game that is so I can just straight skip it.
It's like
Sonic Heroes.
It's like all of them, but very briefly. They don't use Charmy very much. I think they know Charmy sucks.
Okay.
You don't like Charmy?
He is the opposite of Charmy.
I don't like Charmy, but I have his first appearance in comics above me to the right. Does that count?
That's something that I do like about the Sonic games is like a character who like appears in the comics, they're just not afraid to bring them into the video game. And,
that's where
if you've never read a Sonic comic, you're just like, who the hell is this guy? And they act like you know who this guy is.
He's from the Knuckles Chaotic, is where he first comes from. In that comic and that game, which I've covered both of them in the show. But that's where the whole Chaotic team comes from. They're all introduced in that comic, which is to my right.
They have like, all these characters in this game though. Like, I love how they brought all of them into it, because I was playing and then all of a sudden like, like Espio and Charmy and like Vector come, and I'm like, oh, okay, like they're here. Same with like Rouge. Even though Rouge, I was very upset because we did the top 10
which has not been released, yes.
Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, cut that out of
Time Paradox!
But I really like Rouge, and her voice in this game, I was like, what on earth? Like, she sounded so weird. I did not like it, because I like Rouge a lot. And when she was talking, I'm like, okay, I don't appreciate this. Like, why did they change her voice?
Funny.
Just to touch on that really briefly, it is the first game in the series that uses the voice actors from the 4Kids dub of Sonic X. So it's a 4Kids dub, and that is why the actors sound weird.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do not like it.
I didn't notice it. I also turned off the sound in this game
Also,
at a certain
you
point.
never listen to the sound, Mike.
I do in some. Hey, I did in Life is Strange.
Ugh.
I couldn't with this game. Okay, I try, but after a while of hearing, like we were saying earlier, go do this, go. I'm like, fuck you, I'm done. Sound off. I don't need to hear you anymore. Because also, like, this game will change your objective. You'll have one objective set, like you want to do the evil objective, and then you'll run into Sonic or a good character. All of a sudden, they'll change your objective for you. I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but then you go and switch it back, and later on, it will switch again. And I'm just like, why, game?
It's annoying every time it auto switches back.
Yeah.
Like, it just. When I first played through this game for the first time when we were doing the show, like I had a ton of fun playing through this on the just neutral. Is it? Yeah, just neutral campaign where you just run through all the levels. You go through the game once, and it was like I had fun. I'm like, this is fun. Like I'm just running through. I don't care. I'm killing things along the way. I'm just trying to get to the end of the level like a normal Sonic game and having fun. And then, as Reis said earlier, when we started trying to go for the other ending, the all good ending, the all evil ending, that's when this game started to fall apart like terribly. And some levels are really stupid hard.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the levels, like, we talked about how they're akin to Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Heroes, and they are, but they are really, really long. They're like double the length of what you would find in one of those games. And unfortunately, like, using lots of asset reuse, it feels like some levels you'll hit the same hallway like 3 or 4 times before the end of a level. Like, yeah, whole areas get reused within the same level. It's a little weird and frustrating. And every level kind of feels like a reskin of the last level. They're all kind of one big long hallway that goes straight, by and large.
And they do reuse they reuse assets from Sonic Adventure 2 constantly in this game, which is fun. Yeah. I don't mind that. But like they also reuse levels in the game to like in the different as you go through this game, it has 22 levels you can choose from, I think, as the game progresses. 22.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a grid. Anyone listening, if you have never played this game, which is not a bad thing, look it up. And you will see kind of a grid. And the way it works is you beat a level depending on if you do neutral, you go straight. If you did good or evil, you go up or down. And that's how you affect what levels you play as. And like if you're trying to go for certain endings, you're trying to go for certain ways, or if you're like me who was trying to experience every level in the game, what you want to do is, you're trying to do certain objectives. Some of these objectives are just really damn hard. There's one early on where the game lies to you. So we got to talk about this. It's I think the second good mission or one of the early good missions where you have to destroy the ship. And Sonic with you will tell you guns don't hurt the ship, but he's lying to you. Guns are the only thing that hurt the ship. I went through the whole level jumping, hitting the thing with homing attacks, and I'm like, damn, nothing's happened. And I mentioned it in the group chat, and Reis like, yeah, the game lied.
Yeah, it frequently just tells you the wrong thing for different objectives. It feels like a mistranslation.
What level is that?
I don't remember. It's one of the early good levels, though.
Hold on. So, wait. Each square on that grid is like a completely different level?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Some are very close to the same thing, but yes.
Oh, okay. I literally stayed middle path the whole time.
You played the right way.
Yeah,
you experienced the game in a good way and might have a good opinion of it.
That's the least bad version of the game, yeah.
I don't know. It was still pretty bad.
No, I guess okay. So you have to destroy the shuttle. I had like the guide I read said, "Oh, well, if you already beat the game in the evil path, you have a secret weapon you can use and destroy it in 2 shots." I'm like, but I don't have that weapon. I actually never unlocked that weapon because I quit playing the game. I had everything but that. Like it was just stupid. Like you had to go and like kill people as quick as you could to get their guns and shoot the ship, and it took over 300, 400 shots. Had to be, and that's just too much. Like this game. It takes that whole like maybe it's just that that feel of we need to make a boss fight take 300 hits because
yeah, they're really bad boss fights. Like there isn't a single good one among them.
Yeah,
that's the problem with the game.
I only fought 2 bosses the whole game, and I did not enjoy them.
Well, if you play through the game multiple times, you get to fight the same bosses over and over again in different ways.
I'm good.
And I mean, we kind of can touch on this a little bit more, but the endings are all kind of variations of the same couple endings, which makes it reaching the end of each of these sort of campaigns a little bit of a big disappointment, I would say. Every time you see the same ending, just with one line of dialogue changed.
Can we talk about, can we specifically talk about endings?
Sure. We talk anything we want.
Okay, so my ending, Shadow just straight up kills Robotnik. He finds out he's a creation or like an android, and he's like, now it's time for you to die. And then the credits, and I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
It's a weird ass game. And throughout the levels, you do have little warp checkpoints that you can go from level to level or throughout the level to get back one. But each time you start the level, you have to re-find everything.
Yeah,
that just seems bad.
Mm-hmm. One thing that made me quit, because when I first started playing this game, I thought, okay, if I can do stage select, I can just pick the level I want to do, beat it the way I want to, and then keep the game going and get the endings and things. Mm-hmm. But you can't. They want you to play through the entire game if you're trying to beat every ending.
Was that? Obviously it was deliberately designed like that, but I'm just surprised no one said that this isn't fun. Can we, have them warp if they've beat the level before? Can we have them choose?
It's the era, I think, is a lot where I want to say during the GameCube PS2 era that a lot of reviewers and people in general would judge a game a lot on its length. So by making the game artificially longer would actually sell better, or that idea that it would review better because it was a longer game, where we got past that in the 360 era, and especially now where we're like, hey, the game's 2 hours, but it's great. Okay, cool. At this time, we weren't like that as a gamer in culture.
Yeah, it's amazing what an improvement this game would have seen if they had allowed us to level select or chapter select or checkpoint select, any of that. It would have made the game so much more fun.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get that true ending, just no real reason. I didn't care about it. I just wanted to do it. And I had time, and I couldn't. I just couldn't keep playing this game. Also, I got to say, this game is kind of fun when you're in a really shitty mood and you just want to, just to kill things and run through. It's actually quite amusing for a bit. Until I started having to do the objectives, and I'm like, and the objectives are getting really hard later on, too, so that was my other issue.
Can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
I really appreciate how dramatic the cutscenes are.
Yeah.
At the beginning, Shadow, I swear, at the beginning of every cutscene, he's like, who am I? Where am I? He's all dramatic. And I don't know, I just, I really appreciated that. And then same with when, Dr. Eggman does come up. One, I appreciate that they had his little song playing in the background, his little theme song.
Oh, they have I in the Eggman?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, yes, I'm I love that. But then when he was trying to convince Shadow that he's a droid, and then Shadow's like, what? He's like, these droids. Am I a droid? I don't know. I just appreciated how dramatic the cutscenes were.
Because if I remember in the Sonic lore, in Sonic Heroes is not the same Shadow as the one in Sonic Adventure 2, because I think he did actually die.
In Sonic Adventure 2?
Yeah, he dies in the end, if I remember correctly.
Does he die in the end?
I don't remember. I was about to ask because, after the first level, the U.S. government is like, whoa, that's Shadow the Hedgehog. We got to stop him or else he'll kill us all. And I was like, didn't he help you guys at the end of Sonic Adventure 2? And you guys were just like, hey, hold on.
I know in Sonic Heroes, they talk about him being an android or a clone or something. That is definitely talked about in Sonic Heroes, from what little I remember of that game.
So he definitely is an android.
Yes. Or a clone or something. He's not the original one.
I'm not going to pretend to know.
I know a little because I used to love, in this era of time, I loved this Sonic lore and stuff, but I haven't stuck with it and I don't really remember a whole lot of it. But I could have swore he died in the end of Sonic Adventure 2, and Sonic Heroes is because I think there's a level where you see a bunch of shadows. That's where they first bring up the whole thing of I'm not the only one. Not like in this. This is just dumb. Plus, Shadow was supposed to only be in Sonic Adventure 2. He wasn't supposed to come back ever again, but because he was so popular, they brought him back. And then he got his own game that will never see the light again.
Did you, because you guys were talking about how, Shadow, helped, them in Sonic Adventure 2. I liked how they, the president had a picture of Shadow and Sonic,
yeah.
But behind the picture though, how on an actual photo, it'll say Kodak or it'll say something on the back. It said Sega on the back, and I was like, that's cute, that's fun, that's a cute little detail.
Okay. That is kind of cute.
I appreciated that. And then I'm just gonna say something else real quick as well. I really, since I was talking about the cutscenes earlier, I really like when he's with SBO, I'm pretty sure, and they go into this area. They're not being sneaky at all. And they go up, and then SBO's like, damn, we've been detected. And I'm like, you guys weren't sneaking at all. You guys just waltzed in. And he's all upset that they're detected.
I like SPO a lot. He's one of my favorite characters of Chaotix for some reason. I don't have an explanation. But I've always liked SPO when I was a kid. Is Mighty Armadillo in this game at all? I didn't see him.
No.
Oh, that's a Mega Man X boss.
Armored Armadillo, sir.
I really appreciate the cutscene where, like I said, Nathan, there are 4 or 5 like variations of Shadow shooting Eggman at the end or whatever. Like they reuse some of these endings so many times, but there's one where he kills Eggman, but Vector the Crocodile is standing there with him, and he's like, "I don't know, Shadow, maybe you shouldn't kill Eggman," and it's good.
Dang! Now I wish I had seen that ending.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Well, Google exists. So.
The Vector is funny though, because I like when Shadow's like finding out that he's the evil one and stuff, and it's all like he's all upset. And the Vector's just randomly like, "Hey, Shadow, you okay?" And Shadow's looking at him like, obviously not.
They're stupid, okay? Like, that's all I got. They're all stupid in this game. I mean, it's such a weird... I mean, and also, I feel like a lot of the assets are also reused from Sonic Heroes, too. Because this game came out after Sonic Heroes. So, I mean, that has Vector, SPO, Charmy's in that game, Rouge, Shadow.
Probably reusing all those character models for this, yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't mind when games do that.
That's fine. That's fine, yeah.
Is it possible that this game was kind of like they had to make it because of a contract? Like they were like, "Oh, you have to have like X amount of games on these consoles."
I don't think so.
I'm not sure about contract, but there's no question that Sonic Team was pressured heavily by Sega to release a Sonic game every year if possible, if not every other year. So this is a 2-year gap after Sonic Heroes, but I mean, 2 years is still not long. They're crunching through this whole thing.
Yeah,
there's no.
They're probably like, because like this was when did the PS3 come out? That was 2006, right?
No,
7.
7, yeah, because 06 is 360.
Well, I was. Oh, okay. The 360 was first. That's right. I was just thinking maybe they just were like looking at the next gen at the time, and we're like, we would really rather just make Sonic 2006.
Yeah, I mean they can do it later. Yeah.
And it probably played a big part in it where they just wanted to get this out before that one was, the other team was working on that game. So I can see that playing a big part in this because this does look really rushed and not like there's a lot of issues with this game and the gameplay. There were a lot of parts where I was falling off levels for no reason. I mean, I had save state, so it didn't matter, but it would happen. Just lots of little dumb things would happen in this game.
Yeah, I would constantly like try to do a homing dash. And, like, if an enemy was near the edge, there was, like, a 70% chance I would just fly past it and fall off. And it took me so long to realize I could use save states, like, even though I knew about it. But, like, I had to repeat a level twice. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I can just save it before this part that I keep dying at.
Or you didn't ask yourself, why am I playing this?
For the show.
Because I was asking myself, why did I put this on there? Like... Oh, and right before when I was playing this, I made a comment to Tiff, like my wife, about a week ago about how I only put good games on the show now mostly, and she's like, "You're playing a bad game? Like I thought you said you only put good games." I said, "Yeah, but sometimes my dumb ass puts on shit I shouldn't put on." So. And also the story of this game makes no sense. Like it's all about Black Doom, which is like this demon-looking creature that supposedly was with Eggman when they Gerard, the grandfather who created Shadow, even though he's not in Sonic Adventure 2 at all. It doesn't exist. So it's just weird. Like the whole story of like if you play through all the different stories, like there's a comet that's going to hit the Earth, and depending on what you're doing, you go on the comet to stop it. But if you're going for the bad endings, you don't stop it. Like it's just a lot of weird stuff.
Want to know something fun? On every level, if you know how you get that ability that you activate with Y that does chaos control, and you zoom through the level a little bit.
Yes.
If you stand on one of the checkpoint pads, even the first one, and you activate the checkpoint pad and then immediately after activate that ability, you will just fly through the entire level and not have to play it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, It'll beat the level for you. if it doesn't crash, which it does sometimes. But
Oh, wow.
most of the time, it'll fly through the whole level for you, and you don't have to play the level.
It's like a debug mode.
Amazing.
Yeah.
This game wasn't checked very well, okay?
I like, what's his name? The Doom, Black Doom. I like his voice actor because he's just like, I don't know if I could do the voice, but he's just like talking like this, Shadow. That's a terrible impression. But it's just like someone vaguely like trying to do a different voice. So I liked it.
Shadow, we created you. How was that? Better?
It was better than mine.
He's a terrible boss fight, by the way, when you play him.
He's a terrible character, but anytime he talked to me, I was just laughing.
Oh,
like,
if you fight him...
They just had some guy, they're like, we need to voice him real quick. Just step into the booth and do any voice. I don't care.
He's a terrible... You fight... Because in some of the endings, you fight him, and he was a miserable boss fight. It's very much the idea of run around and dodge all his attacks to wait until he's open for this little bit, get 3 hits in if you're lucky, and then repeat the process like 16 more times. It's ridiculous. I hate boss fights like that in games. In this game.
I had to fight Eggman in the middle path, and he was like on like an arena, and I was trying to like rocket it. Like I would kill one of his enemies and get his rocket launcher, and then I'd go to a rocket on the side and launch into the air, and then I was like, okay, I have to line up this shot somehow. And then 9 times out of 10, he would do like a laser, the only attack he can, and like laser up, and he would hit me, and I missed my chance, and I died so many times at that fight until I realized that you can just hop onto a Gatling gun and shoot him dead.
There's a lot of dumb shit in this game like that. Like, why even give you the parachute? Just give you the freaking Gatling. Just let you go, hey, there's a turret right here. Just use this. Like,
yeah,
they do that constantly in this game.
It's like a red herring. Like, I don't even know if you can beat the boss with the parachute. Like, because every time I tried, they were like, oh, run behind him. He won't, like, he'll lose sight of you because he doesn't have an eye in the back of his head or whatever. And I would do that, and I'd be like, okay, cool. And I'd go to parachute up, and he would immediately just wheel around to me. And I was like, well, he's quick.
Yeah, that fight in particular that's the worst fight I played in the game. That's a really rough fight.
Did you fought Black Doom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad as this one, in my opinion, but it's still...
I hated Black Doom,
it's not a good fight.
I fought Black Doom a couple times. I hated him the most.
Yeah.
That's the other issue, is this game repeats boss fights constantly. Like, even though you have the 10 different endings, essentially, and 5 different paths you can take, they repeat boss fight, but they change the arenas just a little bit. Like that what the hell is he called? Eggman's robot, there's a name for it. Egg Smasher, I think. Sure. You fight him in different arenas. You fight someone like this an open arena where you have to grab guns and shoot him. You fight him like the one you were talking about, Nate, where he's on a platform above. Like, I fought him like 4 or 5 times throughout this game in different arenas. Maybe less, but still, it's just stupid. It's just really dumb.
And every time was the Gatling gun there?
No. Only in that one stage is the Gatling gun. The rest do not. The rest are much easier because you have a lot of area to run around in and he's on the same level as you. So you just kill other enemies, grab a gun, jump up, shoot him, and run. It's way easier, but shorter. But not as short, but it's easier.
Did you check out any speedruns of this game?
There aren't many.
Well, that's very surprising.
But there were, yes, but it's not the same. Because this game is broken into chapters, you have speedruns of hey, they ran through the entire neutral chapter, or they ran through the entire, evil chapter, things like that. It didn't have, there is one where the guy runs through the entire game, which is over 6 hours.
I saw that. Well, I didn't watch it, but I saw that when I was looking for speedrun.
And the fact that you have to go and get all these different endings and play through the game 10 times, it's just like, why are you making me play this shit that much? It's not that good. It's not a good game. The first level is no City Escape. I played City Escape dozens of times or more than that in my life, and that's a fun level. This was no City Escape.
It feels like it takes place in the same city, though.
It tried, but it doesn't have rolling around at the speed of sound. It doesn't have that.
No, they should have got a death metal version of it and been we got Bring Me the Horizon to do this soundtrack.
Well, that would involve money. They probably didn't have.
That's true.
The game.
I mean, I feel like somebody in Sega came up to him and said, "Hey, we need to make another Sonic game, but you have to reuse most of your assets for the game, okay?" Have fun. That's really how it felt. And like the weapons just feel, the whole gun system feels tacked on and completely unnecessary.
It does. There's no punch to any of the weapons. Like anytime I had a gun, I was just mashing a shoot button.
Yeah, and it just doesn't, I don't understand why it's there. I don't understand why the game thought, hey, we're going to have guns in this game. All I can think of is it was a timing of just
I feel like it was something that they were like, because I watched a YouTube video a few weeks ago about how like when Capcom was like really pushing for Western games, they just like, or like for their games to do well in the West, they just like, you know, put in a bunch of stuff that like, you know, Americans love, like guns apparently. And so that could be something where they're like, oh, we need to market this like to get, you know, better sales numbers. So let's put in guns and make it like dark and edgy.
Yeah, I mean,
make it more mature. Because like, you know, a lot of like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like when I like was 13, 14, like I kind of stopped buying any E-rated games because I was just like, those are kid games. Like I am a teenager, capital T. Like give me the teenager rated games. And then, you know, I played Kingdom Hearts and I was like, this is the best game I've ever played.
Jeez.
It's a good game. Just don't replay it.
I love Kingdom Hearts.
You replayed it recently?
Yes, I got to the final boss and I've never beaten it again.
That game is hard as hell. You can listen to episode 175. I talk all about it. For 3 hours.
But I feel like the gun thing is just something that they were just like, we need to differentiate it from Sonic and we need to market it as, you know, mature.
That's fair.
Yeah, according to sonicretro.org, they have an article on the development of the game that's actually really well cited. I pulled that up real quick, 1 second. As the previous titles had been aimed at a younger audience, Iizuka wanted to appeal to an older demographic with the game and attract those who might not otherwise play a Sonic title. So there you go. They were really going for a darker thing. They took inspiration from films such as Underworld, Constantine, and the Tomb Raider series. Terminator series, not the Tomb Raider series, the Terminator series in building the world. I gotta say, I don't see Terminator at all.
I don't see any of those in this world.
Yeah, I can see the cheesiness of Underworld.
Is Underworld cheesy?
Underworld is the only one I feel like I see.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it in years.
It's pretty cheesy, but like it's like charmy cheesy. You know, it's like, yeah, this is silly, but you know, it's a fun watch.
He's got Kate Beckinsale, so I'm all good with that movie. But
yeah, Underworld's the only one that I can see at all. I definitely don't see Constantine. I definitely don't see Terminator.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just why did they do any of this? I don't understand either. Like, this game, you know, like it has parts of it that could have been a good game, but just take away the terrible mission objectives and I would have been fine.
So, like, as someone who, like, you know, really just started playing Sonic this year, anytime I would see a Sonic game, like I tried to play Sonic 1 back in the day, and it just frustrated me because they were always like, go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast. But then they had like, you know, precise platforming sections, and that annoyed me because I was like, well, you want me to go fast, but you want me to go slow. Like, you know, and then it's like that concept of go fast, like, doesn't really speak to me. Like, it all just looks like it's the same game, like from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah.
You know, so it might be something why, you know, once again, they just like, we're like, okay, we're just gonna do everything different and just make Shadow the main character so that, you know, if it's like, so that I guess, you know, Sonic fans won't be mad that, oh, Sonic has a gun and, you know, isn't going fast.
Yeah, but the fun parts of the game where you when you were going fast.
Yeah, except for like
when you're having to sit there like, I don't play a Sonic game or a Shadow game, sorry, to want to run around a mission and just look for frickin' little mods like, oh, you missed one enemy, go through the whole level and find him. Like, I don't want to do that. Enemies are just there to be a distraction, not to be my focus point. Like, that was my other issue. That was the focal point.
There are also a lot of enemies just like kind of falling out of the sky on top of you constantly, which ruins any kind of flow that the game has. Like, occasionally, yes, you do get to like really kind of get into a sort of, you know, forward momentum flow that you have in like Adventure 2, but like, boy, they stop you constantly and telling you to, you know, dispose of various enemies around you and stuff. It brings it all to a halt.
Which When did Devil May Cry come out? Because that was the first game that really like kind of did that, where like, oh, you have to like kill everything before the door will open.
2002? I'm looking right now as I'm speaking.
2001.
They took inspiration from Devil May Cry.
But Devil May Cry is a good game.
Surprised. That's around the right, set of time that they would be looking at a game like Devil May Cry and sort of thinking about that game as they were developing.
Yeah. One thing that this game did do that I liked was the ring system, where I could collect like a bunch of rings, and if I got hit, I lost some. I didn't lose all. So it wasn't like a mad dash to be like, oh Lord, I gotta get these rings.
Yeah, I mean, there were boss fights where I knew I was going to get hit no matter what because the boss fight sucked, so I would just make sure I kept one ring at all times and save state.
Yeah.
Like, I like that he didn't drop all his rings at once, and that's also partly because, normally in Sonic games, enemies don't have this many projectiles and this many enemies that you're
I guess that's
with.
true, yeah.
I was going to say, I think it kind of feels a little bit like they're compensating for the game's frustrating moments of difficulty, but yes,
plus, in most Sonic games, like a boss fight takes 6 or 7 hits tops. Usually it's 4 or 5, I think, I want to say. And you go through the cycle, you get the hit. In this game, it was you had to hit them so many times too, so they had to put in other ways to make you not want to break your game in half. And the levels are just so Nate, you didn't see a level I actually enjoyed. There's a casino level in this game too, so it's like Casino Nights kind of thing, which is actually kind of fun. Except the good objective, you have to collect 400 rings. So if you get hit and you lose your rings, you can't. You might be in trouble. It's very interesting.
But how is the casino designed?
You're in the air floating and you do little machines and get rings. It was kind of fun.
I'm out. The best casino level in any game is in Sly Cooper.
First one?
I think it's the first one.
I played 1 and 2 and I cannot remember anything about a casino in those games, but it's been a while.
I've never played 2. I've only played 1 and 3, so I think it's in the first one.
Okay, I cannot remember. Oh well. Good game. Close that too, but there were some cool levels. I mean, Tails is in this game in his mech for like a second for some reason.
Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah.
His trademarked mech.
Alyssa, what route did you take in this game? Did you just do the neutral route?
I did the neutral route and I played that through, and then I tried playing the other ones, but man, like I don't know. I got like halfway through like the second route you could take, like the hero, not the hero one, but like whatever. And I don't know, I just kept getting confused. It was just, and then what's weird, you guys, like I know that I think with Sonic, the other Sonic game, like I think if I'm remembering correctly, like there was some control issues, like you guys had some control issues. Well, I usually don't have control issues. Like I love the GameCube, but with this game, I don't know what it was, or maybe it's just because I was bad at this game, but I don't know, some of the levels, like the camera was just acting weird, and like, I tried to jump and he wouldn't jump on time, and like, I don't know.
That wasn't you.
No, there's a level of polish that is missing from this one that is present in some of the other ones, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of control issues. There were a lot of times where I would try to home attack something, and I would just go flying off the edge or something, or he just wouldn't attack. There's a lot of issues like that. That, again, you can tell this game was rushed.
Yeah, because I usually don't experience that, but I did with this game, and I'm like, what is going on?
It's a bad game. That's what's going on. Oh, did you see the level? So you probably missed the level. There's a level of chows in them. In one spot in this entire game that I saw, you go to one of the evil levels where you have to go light these torches for Robotnik. You see a bunch of little chows sitting around a fire for some reason.
Oh.
No idea why. They're only in this one section of the game. They just put a bunch of chows.
Oh.
You can't do anything with them. You can't pick them up. You can't throw them into the fire because I tried.
I was gonna say the evil objective isn't to just get rid of the chows.
No, you can't. You can't touch them. Which is just weird. You can't pet them. You can't pick them up. I'm like, really? They're just there. They're just randomly chows are in this game.
That's great.
Because I played every level except for 2 of them. The 2 evil levels I didn't get to because I couldn't do one of the evil levels because it was bullshit. That's what broke me. So I was going through this game. I was going to beat all the levels. I was on my last trek to beat all levels. And there's a level where you have to the evil way is break 5 big bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like 5 minutes to do it, and the good way is to destroy these 20 bombs or so. So I was trying to do the evil way to do and I could not find them. I only found 2 of the 5, and you have a time limit, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And the game got put down.
I did finish that one, and it sucked.
Is it like Sonic Adventure 2's Knuckles levels where the crystals are in random places every time?
No. They're in set places. It's just that
okay.
I couldn't figure out the way the level looked. It didn't make sense.
reading a guide for a game like this is a nightmare too. So it's just like I'm not gonna try and read an IGN guide on where to find that thing.
I tried. The guides were not good for this game.
Yeah, no.
Like, you're 100% right. They were just hard. This game doesn't make sense. It's very hard to, like... And I didn't care. I mean, I've done this before for games on the show. Like, I will watch a video and play... Like, when I play some of the horror games, like Silent Hill, I will watch a video and literally just copy what they do sometimes because those games terrify me. But, like, with this, I wasn't doing that. I didn't care enough. And especially for me, if I see credits roll, game's beat. I don't care if it's, like, you know... I didn't play through all the levels or get the true ending. I got credits. I beat the game.
Oh, Mike.
I was trying. I was going to try. If it wasn't so ridiculous to get the final ending, like if it was just like beat all the levels, I would have done it for sure. And then I would have forced myself to get through that terrible bomb level. But then when I thought about, I beat this bomb level, and let's say I beat the evil chapter, the other two, I still don't unlock the true ending because I have to go beat the game 5 more times. And to me, that's just ridiculous. Like, you shouldn't ask your player to do that.
Do you have to just beat the game 5 more times any which way, or do you have to go on certain paths?
You have to redo all the final levels and do the other ending you didn't beat it the other way you didn't the first time.
Oh, that's awful.
Yes, you can't stage select. You literally have to play through the game, make sure you get go all the way to the good side and do the other one that you didn't do. Like, and it's just, that's too much for me.
Yeah,
I didn't want to play anymore.
I saw 4 of the 5 main endings. I will probably revisit this game and see the rest of them, but I will probably do it after a break because I need a break.
I will never do it. I will never touch this game again in my life. So, other than picking up the case and putting it somewhere on a different shelf, maybe that's as far as it's going. Never playing this game. It's
justified.
I want to see how much this game is going complete in box on eBay right now.
It can't be much.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
Oh, there's also hidden keys, and each level has 5 keys, which unlock, like, secret weapons or something, I think, in the levels, or they do something. Like, in one level where you have to destroy that tank that we were talking about, I think it was. If you get all 5 keys, you unlock a turret. You can shoot the tank with a turret.
Right, yeah, more powerful weapons.
There's also one level that I failed on when I was trying to do the evil way, is you have to destroy the Air Force One, essentially, and you have to follow the jet through a frickin', like, factory where it's moving like a conveyor belt and just constantly keep shooting it. Which is very annoying. Except there is a couple, like, as you beat the game, you get 5 different weapons. Only a couple are actually good. Like, you get from the neutral ending, you get the egg gun, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to Billy Hatcher and the giant egg, because it looks like that same type of egg, and you just suck up enemies and then get extra lives for it. I liked it. You get an Omochao gun, which shoots Omochao missiles, which is actually really, really powerful, by the way.
I didn't know that. This is kind of fun.
You get a satellite cannon, which is useless because it doesn't work on moving targets, and almost everything in this game is moving. Because that's a lock on and shoots right where it was. I was trying to use it on the tank, and it just kept missing them because he kept moving. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I never picked it up again.
You did all the 5 keys on some of them. You actually did this.
No, I didn't do all the 5 keys. I just would do, as you beat the game, you unlock these guns, and then when you find shadow boxes, you break them open. They have all the guns that you got from beating the game.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know about that.
4 of the 5 ways, I had a bunch of secret weapons to use.
I saw the shadow boxes and I just ignored them.
Yeah, they have as you beat the game, they have really powerful weapons in them.
That's fun.
Especially if you beat the game pure evil, when you get the best gun in the game.
Maybe this game is good?
No. I tried. I really wanted to like this game.
There is a sealed copy of Shadow the Hedgehog going for $202. That's the current bid on eBay.
Wow.
Let me read you the back of the box here. All right, because I think this might be a good game. It's 2 players simultaneous. I don't know what a I don't know what that is as far as like a co-op mode in this game goes. Like maybe someone controls Sonic's or Shadow's gun.
I think so.
I think I paid about $50 for my copy, and I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, there's copies on there for like $22 or whatever, or $40 was like the first listing that came up. But it, like in big letters, it says hero or villain. To destroy or to protect, Shadow the Hedgehog carries a dark past that is shrouded in mystery. Embark on a journey to unveil his true identity. The way you play the game will determine the outcome of Shadow's future.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that in the game.
It's not. I mean, the whole point of the game, depending on... Oh, you also didn't get to see the Maria levels, too, because Maria's in this game. He has flashback on different... If you're either evil or good, he has them... I think he has them in... They're in different sections without flashback, where he's on the arc from SA2B, and Maria is running along with him.
She's in the first cutscene because he's like, "Who is that?"
Maria.
Who's Maria?
There are multiple levels in this game that take place inside of computer code.
Mm-hmm. They're really annoying too.
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. I love it.
This is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me. Which is a line from the game. When he steals a Chaos Emerald in the frickin' ship he's using to get travel in space, he just breaks open the ship and crashes it. Because he's too dumb.
This game is rated E for everyone. E10 plus.
Yeah, E10 plus. So yeah, we can talk about that. That was a new rating on the ESRB at the time, and this is one of the first games to use it because they wanted to pull off not quite a teen rating.
Huh.
Shadow still says "damn" in it though. So
yeah, I thought this was teen game
Because of all the guns.
because of all the guns and the.
Hey, it's America. America, you're allowed to have guns.
The
Just not sex.
excessive
No
language.
boobies. Boobies are the problem, not guns.
No, that's what they tried to do in Sonic 2006. I heard.
I've never played it yet.
Oh,
I want to for the show.
I don't.
Yeah, it's such
I
an experience.
personally, I've watched a couple Let's Plays on it, and I personally don't think you should play it.
I shouldn't, but I'm going to.
I think you kind of have to. Yeah, it's a pretty incredible thing.
The only reason I haven't, because it's not on Steam. It's only on. I have a copy of 360 and PS3, but I like to play everything on Steam just because, or emulate it. And since I can't do either of those, I've been less likely to want to play it on the show.
Depending on what you desire from that game, just so you know, the PS3 version is much more broken than the 360 version. So, go with the PS3 version.
Okay, I'll play 360. You got it. I don't need to play a more broken game.
Yeah, it's really bad, actually. 360 version's better. It's an awful game. You should definitely play it.
It's always been on my list, though. It's just one of those games I've always meant to play and just never gotten around to yet. God, I say that too much.
The big problem with that game is, it doesn't make you replay content like this one, but it's, really, really long. That is a long video game.
That's fine. I don't mind. I don't like replaying levels that I already did. I don't like having to go through a level and look for a particular enemy. Like, example, one of the levels in the good chapter where you have to go fight those blue guys that you had to hunt and resend a picture. And when I realized, oh shit, this game is not going to be fun. You literally have to, if you don't, there's a part where you get a grenade launcher, and if you use up all your grenade launcher or you blow up all the explosive tanks, you can't unlock certain rooms to get other enemies that might be hiding in there.
Yep.
And that, to me, that's ridiculous. Part of this game is you grab different random guns, you just use them and kill people and move on and grab another gun. But your grenade launcher's in a secret room, and if you use it all, like I did, you're done. Level's over. And I don't like stuff like that. That's just bad game design. It's just not, and that's where the game is starting to break me, because I did get the good ending, but I also skipped certain levels because I knew I couldn't beat them the good way, so I would just skip them. But you can move around the whole bracket. And how many different combinations were there for levels? Like 300 something you said, Reis, I think?
Yeah, it's 300.
Yeah, that's what I
ridiculous.
read online too.
I mean, you don't have to do it that many times, but it's just kind of like,
there's no benefit to doing the combinations. That's the thing. So it's purely a bragging thing. Yeah, I mean, it's wild. We already kind of said this, but it's just crazy how easy a restructure of this game would be to make it a pretty dang fun, 2 to 3 hour game.
You could. I mean, I think if it would have been released in a later time, it would have been, especially with it just being reused assets and everything, they wouldn't have went for what they did. But at that time, you had to make your games. Like, if I only had to beat the game 5 times, play all levels to unlock that true ending, like I said before, I would have done it for sure. Let's say you only had to beat the game 3 ways. Beat the game neutral, beat the game good, beat the game evil, boom, you're good. Like, you did it. Here's the final.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it would be in 360 era. It wouldn't have been what it was, but this was the late PS2 era where game length was such an important factor still. So they had to make this game extra long, because otherwise it's not long. It's a really short game if you rush through it. Hey, I think I know one of their speedrun is 23 minutes on neutral. They just rush through it.
Yeah.
So that'd be the way.
That's the way to play it. You can also break crates in this game. You find guns in crates all the time. You get guns from enemies you kill. You fight a bunch of different aliens that are going to destroy the world or something stupid throughout this game. I
had no idea what their motivation was.
They never say. Destroy the world.
That's
fine. It's a cartoon.
But I mean, in my playthrough, the U.S. government was more concerned about Shadow than they were about these extraterrestrial beings that came to Earth to destroy us. He was like, no, Shadow's the real villain here.
They were upset because he betrayed them.
Look at his cool gun.
And one thing I thought was stupid, like, depending on what you're going to the good or evil chapter in a level, and you kill, like, you're only killing one enemy, the other enemies still try to kill you. And Sonic will be like, why are you shooting the guns? They're on our side. I'm like, they don't know that, Shadow. Or they don't know that, Sonic. They're still trying to kill me. Like, they don't care. The game wasn't programmed that way. Just stupid things like that irritated me. Oh, one of the boss fights I want to talk about, which I know Nate didn't see, but is when you go through the thing is the good way, you fight a giant, like, blob-looking, fat, flying gargoyle thing. That's kind of amusing, but annoying the third time you fight him.
That's a frustrating fight.
It's you can cheese him, but he was just annoying because you only get a couple hits off and he runs away, and you go through, and you just repeat these processes over and over and over again in this game, and it's annoying. It's very annoying. Oh, this game had levels that reminded me of Final Chase and Final Rush from SA2, where you're on rails at one point, just grinding rails.
They were nowhere near his.
No, they're not as good.
Bad.
And they even make a reference to it.
I didn't like that final level in Sonic Adventure 2. I kept falling off the rails.
Level's hard, but when you played it, I played it when I was a kid. I played it so much that I know the level now way too good. No. But yeah, they were just bad. They were just really badly designed trying to copy that. Just so bad.
If you hit the X button on the rails, you can do a 180 and speed up.
Yeah, which is also dumb.
No, that's good. I disagree, Mike. I think that was good. I would take an entire game of just hitting X to do 180s.
And then you have levels where you end up going into the comet near the end, also, and the different things, like when you're trying to stop it. And the way that the whole plan, the evil plan in this game, or at least one of the endings I got, was they were trying to get all the Chaos Emeralds. Oh no, the true ending. Sorry, not the ending I got, but the YouTube ending is where they want to get all the Chaos Emeralds. They take them from Shadow just so they can chaos control the meteor back to Earth instead of space, because it can't make it there otherwise. That's the big goal of this game. Yeah, dumb.
But in the true ending, because I watched it on YouTube, is that Shadow that is in super form, or is that Sonic?
It's got to be Shadow.
Okay, because then I was also confused, because then he's on, like, a ship, and he throws a picture, and he goes, "Goodbye, Shadow the Hedgehog." And I'm like, that's you. What is going on?
Well, you also unlock, by getting the true ending, you get a secret level that you only get by beating all the other levels.
Okay.
Which I did not do.
And none of us have played it, so.
No, it's a level. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that's Super Shadow. Except he looks different than he does in SA2, because in SA2 he's more of a whiter gold, and here he's more yellow than he should be. He looks more like... But he's
also an android. Can androids go super
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
I think we may have to admit that none of us really fully grasp what happened in that video game's plot.
I don't think the creators grasp what happened in the video game plot either. I mean, it is cool that the game ends with you being Super Shadow. Like, I do think that's cool. I like the idea that that's where this game goes. And you fight some giant gargoyle-looking thing, you gotta shoot him in the eye probably more than I want to. And I do like Sonic games that end with Super Sonic. I do like that. I think that's a cool thing.
So does he not normally go super? I only know him from Sonic Adventure 2 in this game.
Well, Shadows... I never played Sonic Heroes, so I can't speak to Sonic Hero.
You know, he's in Sonic Heroes. There's a lot of characters in Sonic Heroes. He doesn't really get much time to, be a fully fledged character. Yeah.
I'm assuming he doesn't go super in that. Super
no,
Saiyan
he does
in
not.
That one.
As far as I remember, it's been a long time. I need to replay that game. It's pretty fun, actually.
Don't worry, I'll change that because it's on my list.
Good.
Oh, yes, we can get the Sonic team together again.
Yeah, I remember liking that game. Yeah, I sure, Mike. I do agree that like having him do his, Super Saiyan thing at the end is like kind of fun.
Legally distinct.
Yes, he's a hedgehog.
It's really hard to care about anything that. I mean, obviously, like care is a weird word to use in the context of these games a lot of the time, but like it's hard to care about what's going on in this game when I don't know what's going on in this game, right? So like when he turns Super Shadow, I'm not really pumped because I don't know what happened in this game.
Yeah, you don't know the context for it.
Yeah.
No, the story is too convoluted. Like with Sonic Adventure 2, you had the two stories. You had the hero, you had the dark, and then when you beat both, you have you unlock the one, which was nice. It worked well. But with this shit, you have too many just random ass things that happen that it's just too much for the game. It doesn't give you that cohesive story that you want. It doesn't show you different aspects. It just puts you in a weird way, and I don't like it. Oh, and I guess in the ending, he chaos controls the meteor and then uses the arc station to blow up the meteor with the laser that was supposed to destroy the world in SA2.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun.
It is kind of cool. It's a little bit cool.
I mean, and I wanted to see that. I wanted to play through and get the true ending and everything, but it's just too much bullshit to do it. And a game in 2005 shouldn't have that much bullshit to play the final level. Like, it's just not necessary. I thought that was, and that is what bugs me so much. Because I don't like when I can't finish a game for the show.
I mean, you finished it, though.
I did, but not the way I wanted.
I know.
I saw credits 4 times. That's enough. But still, I wanted to get the true ending. Just a weird game. I mean, and they really try to push the shadow symbol in this game, too, for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, and then in one of the playthroughs, you find out that the general that's been talking with the president was actually a kid on Ark and knew Maria and blamed Shadow for Maria's death.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he wants to kill her. Or kill him.
Yeah, you see him at one point, and he just wants to shoot you or something stupid.
The pieces.
Yeah, because Maria was like a sister to him, and like that was like the part of the only family that he had. But then all of his family died when the Ark was destroyed. But it's like, how did he survive?
Yeah, which doesn't make sense considering he's on a space station.
Yeah.
Because when a space station goes down, my assumption is you don't get off it.
Right.
Yeah,
He jumped as it was going down, and it saved his life.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I'm watching it right now where, he has the photo, he throws the photo and walks away, and that's the end of the game. I don't understand.
Yeah, and he says goodbye to himself, which is just, like, dumb and also kind of badass. Like, when I go, I want to just be like, goodbye, Nathan. Like...
Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Just weird. Just makes no sense. And they had such good Sonic lore, I felt, which is weird saying that, in Sonic Adventure 2, and they just go so weird bonkers in this game.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2's story is goofy and ridiculous, but at least you know what's going on in it most of the time. So.
It's a good game, too, I think. Even though I think pretty sure I shitted out of it when we played it for the show. But
yeah, no, it is a good game, so I'm glad you came around.
I just don't want to play it again. Oh, and then one boss fight I do want to talk about that I did is you fight the general, or you fight somebody in a giant fucking tank with like rocket launchers.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting. I liked it though. I liked that. I liked some of the boss fights, even though they were just annoying with how long they took. They were still kind of cool. I just can't get over this game is 6 hours for a speedrun of the full game.
The final boss for me was Eggman in a poker suit. He had to hit the buttons on his mech, and it would then you could attack him. But it was like not that fun because you had to hit the third, you had to make sure that the third button hit was you, or else the attack would focus on you and not Eggman. And then the homing dash would sometimes just not work, and I would just speed past him and run into him and lose some health. And I was like, but they make up for it by a lot of the times they give you rings if you hit all 3 buttons. And I was like, that's nice.
That was just annoying. That whole fight. I did it a couple times with trying to go through the game, and it's just stupid.
Yeah, really seems like they just were they had a column that said boss ideas, and that was it. They just put it in the game.
Yeah, something else.
So bad. I think that covers all the boss fights I can think of that at least that I did, and I went through majority of this game, so. There's only one spot I missed, which the top 3 dark levels, I missed some of those, unfortunately.
Here's a weird, interesting thing. The branching pathways for the levels concept was actually originally intended to be used in Sonic Adventure 2. And I'm really glad that got cut, because it's the worst part of this game. So, but yeah, it's interesting that they originally wanted to do that, and that's why they did it for this one, I guess.
That's cool. I mean, branching paths could work. You just have to do it the right way. You have to not make your player have to beat everything. That's the whole trick. You can do it and do it just fine, but not like this.
Yeah, it's just terribly executed.
That was the problem. I mean, you also shouldn't make, I'll say this again, you shouldn't make your gamer play the game 10 times through when your game is not a 10-minute game.
And when the game is not good.
That
plays particularly well.
It is also, we talk about how it reuses assets from SA2 and all of that. It is, for a 2005 game, remarkably ugly. This is a very gross looking video game. It looks like a Dreamcast game, but it has a horrible art style that really makes everything kind of look like mush.
And like, I think it's cool that I don't know much about video games or anything, but I think it's cool that like it was hitting 60 FPS back in the GameCube, which
that is nice because a lot of games were not at the time for sure.
Yeah,
but also it's running on Dreamcast tech.
Yeah.
So by 2005,
but it's like a waste of 60 FPS. You know?
Yeah.
I also want to say that emulating this game was not easy. Like both me and Nate had a lot of trouble emulating this, and we shouldn't have. So.
Yeah, I learned I had to keep my laptop plugged in, which was like the weirdest fix for it. Like,
I should have told you that because I've seen that too. Where I mean, most of my games I have to plug in too, and they run better.
Oh,
because you need that extra power.
Yeah, see, Everything or Nothing ran fine unplugged
because that game was not that.
And then,
not as demanding as Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, yeah. But it was great hearing the nightmare sounds when it was unplugged of everything like slow, but trying to, run at normal speed.
Yeah, when I first started playing this game too, I had a bunch of issues like that where it just kept slowing down. I was plugged in, but I had to play with the settings. I'm like, come on now. I have a decent gaming laptop. I'm like, I know my laptop can run this crap.
Yeah.
This game is quite powerful for a shitty game.
This is why you have to play it on that GameCube instead of.
I wouldn't have seen the end because I wouldn't have got through the game without save states. I think that's partly why I put down this game back then because of that.
Or the Chaos Emeralds.
I also find it funny how the first level you get a Chaos Emerald like right away, like in a checkpoint.
Yeah, and like
it's just sitting there.
Yeah, I did like at the end of every level you'd get like on the neutral path you'd get a Chaos Crystal. And, like, your companion character would just be kind of, like, annoyed at you. Like, like, oh, you got a Chaos Crystal. Good for you.
It's just so weird.
5 key cards. Tell you that much.
All right, any last things you want to say about this before we go on to our few different questions, comments, memories we have?
Oh, not a whole lot this week, huh?
No, I didn't get a lot. It's weird, huh? I couldn't believe people didn't have a lot to say.
Huh.
I mean,
so weird.
I realized right before not even right before, but a couple days ago, it was like, I'm not going to have a whole lot to say about this game in general. There's just not enough to say about it. It's just a bad video game.
That's a bad video game at that. All right, and the first from I watched the entire Overblood Super Replay. The first one I got from Brian Brown. Please talk about how the song from the opening cinematic before the title screen is an unironic banger. Now, let's see. It's called I Am All of Me, Shadow the Hedgehog. That's okay.
I am familiar with this song because they do play it, like Crush 40 has covered it at numerous Sonic concert events that Sega will put on.
It just sounds like 2000 era.
Mm-hmm.
Rock.
I didn't play enough of it probably, but it was enough for me. I don't even remember it in the beginning because I wasn't paying attention to this game that way. And my only other comment from this group, from Ken Pittman, did you at any point say ow due to the edge? No. I said ow, I had to play this bullshit. Okay, here's a good one. Actual question, do you think the game would have been better had they not been desperate to make Shadow appeal to the West? Yes.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't. Yeah. Like, who was asking for this? Like, who was like, man, I really want to know what Shadow's deal is. Like,
in all fairness, 10-year-old me probably.
And then the last question I got one comment from the Nintendo GameCube Enthusiasts group. I only got 3 comments for this game in 3 different groups. That's not very good. From Alex Edmondson. I love it, man. It was very edgy, but fit Shadow's dark storyline perfectly after Sonic Adventure 2. We see Shadow die, in quotation, at the end by falling to Earth. In Sonic Heroes, we find out he's a clone at the end of the Dark Side story, and that there's a lot of clones of him. Lastly, Shadow the Hedgehog, which explains his reason for creation. It was a great little timeline of events. I enjoyed it. Also, if you have a second player, they will play as whatever side character the story has. Pretty cool. So that's what the co-op does.
That's what
I didn't know that. That's actually pretty neat.
Yeah.
That is.
I kind of like that.
However, That guy obviously helped work on the game, so
They just explained the plot of the game more concisely than any of us were able to. So
I know.
oh yeah.
And he did. I mean, I also hadn't played Sonic Heroes, so that doesn't help. I just know that something to do with a clone.
I just laughed when a whole bunch of like shadows showed up, and he's like, "I'm an android," and I was like, "No fucking way." Sure, let's go with it.
This game is garbage. Oh, and before we wrap up this episode, if you're still listening to us, I think I should do a giveaway as payment for someone suffering through this episode. Let's see what we're going to give away today. I feel like I should have some Sonic games. I do. You get to have Sonic Forces, and the code is for Steam B83ZC5RCCGTG4P2. So that is for Sonic Forces on Steam.
Which I played that game earlier this year, and it is not that bad.
yeah, it's fine.
It's pretty. Like I had a decent enough time with it.
Yeah, for free, it's a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy that game for free.
Yeah.
I own multiple copies of that game. I don't know why, but I do.
I've never played that one.
Me either.
It's Generations with weaker level design, but still an okay time.
Never played Generations either.
Generations is so good. Play it.
I want to. It's probably gonna be in the show soon.
Nice.
But we'll talk about it after the year. And I think that brings us to our last segment, Shelf Stacker Box. And I'll go first. This is going in the box. When I first started playing this, I'm like, wow, this game is really fun. When I'm rushing through the neutral thing and I'm enjoying just shooting enemies and I'm having fun. And I'm like, okay, this ain't so bad. Maybe people were wrong. And then Reis made a combo. Wait till you start doing the objectives. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then the game went from decent to shit really quickly. And I never want to play this again. It's unpolished. It's not fun. It's overly complicated in dumb ways. And I'm done. So going in the box, and I don't want to see this game again in my life. Oh, what about you, Alyssa?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to agree and say that it's going to go in the box for me because, no thanks. I'm good.
And what about you, Nate?
This shelf right next to Donkey Kong Country 2. No, the box. Put it in. I'm putting it in one box, and then I'm going to put that box in another box. And I'm going to put it in a third box, and then I'm going to leave it at a flea market.
Okay. And what about you, Reis?
Well, I'm a trash monster, and like I said, I'm probably going to actually come back to this stupid thing because I do want to see it through. But with that being said, for the spirit of the question, I will also say box. It's not a good video game at all.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the first time in a long time that we all went box for something on this show. That does not happen often.
Yeah, so. It's a rough one.
It takes a special video game to do that, and
it takes a special dumbass to put it on the show too.
That's what Shadow the Hedgehog is.
Good job, Chad.
But the sad thing is I've been wanting this on the show forever. That's the worst part. I really did. It's been on my mind to put this on the show for a very long time because I've always meant to play it again. Oh, I
just have to repeat history when you do Sonic 06.
Yeah, there'll be another one that I know is bad, but it's again a game I have to play one day. There's just certain games that as they came out, like I bought them or like I'm like I want to, and I always told myself I'm going to play them, but I just never got around to them because life. And sometimes they just weren't good, so I didn't waste my time. But I want to now because now I have a reason to. I can go on the radio and talk about it and talk shit. So it's worth it. It's a very special thing to be able to talk shit on the radio. It really is. All right. And Reis, where can people find you at?
People can find me at Side Group Games on Twitter. They can also check out my website. It's www.sidegroupgames.com. And I've been kind of working on stuff behind the scenes a little bit, but my last release was a couple of years ago. It was called Throw Me in the River. It's a visual novel. Please check it out. And other than that, you can find me testing video games testing software and games that are Pokemon related. Okay.
And you can also hear us talk about his game in an interview episode. I forget what number interview it is, but it's there. So go look through that catalog. And Alyssa, where can people find you at?
On Instagram at Alyssa Billy. I do perler bead art on there. been inactive for a bit, but I will be posting some new stuff soon.
That's good. And Nate, you said you wanted to plug your friend's Twitch channel?
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at _. And then you should all go to twitch.tv/ambientpotato and give him a follow. He's been doing a lot of Pokemon. He did a Pokemon Nuzlocke run, which one run ended so spectacularly, where he got into a random battle with oh man, I forgot the Pokemon. And then it just bodied all of his like 4 Pokemon he had, and it was great. I think right now he's doing Pokemon randomizer runs. But yeah, go follow Ambient Potato on Twitch. A lot of fun.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, there's over 350 episodes of this show. So go check those out. We do tons of different things. We do games, movies, comics. We do all sorts of crap on the show. Oh, and I should say before I go too much farther, if you want to hear more Sonic episodes, let me pull that up so I can tell you what other Sonic episodes we've done. Because there's been a few. But while I'm doing that, we also have a Patreon, and we have a new Patreon poll for this month, so definitely go help us out. It's Marvel vs. DC. You can either vote for Shang-Chi, Blade Trinity, Shazam, or Aquaman. So you get to choose what you want to listen to. You get to affect the show. For as little as $1, you can vote in our Patreon polls. So go do that. Make me happy. Because I like when people vote. I don't even care about the money as much. I just want people to vote. And if you want to hear more Sonic episodes, we did Sonic Adventure 2, episode 158. Super Sonic vs. Hyper Knuckles, comic 15. Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3, episode 18. God, I have not done a lot of Sonic content on the show yet. I need to change that. And I did one Knuckles episode, Knuckles Chaotic. So you can go check that out too. Which doesn't have a number because it was the comic and the video game. I didn't make a number for those. So go check that out too. God, I need to do more Sonic on the show. I got to do Sonic Director's Adventure 1 someday too. I think I need to play that.
All of us. Sonic Team Sonic.
Is Sonic Adventure any good?
Oh, I like Sonic Adventure. I'll talk Sonic Adventure with you all day.
Okay. Can't be worse than this crap, right?
Listen, it's got its rough parts for sure, but it's an entertaining game.
Okay. More entertaining than this shit?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Unquestionably.
That's what matters. This was not entertaining.
Yeah.
But
it's a good time. You should definitely cover it. I think you'll have fun.
Okay, I think I will. Oh, and if you want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Helena at Hell Hasphere, you can follow her on TikTok. And also want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Tucker, who started his own, who did the MCU roundup with me, where we covered all 23, now 24 of those films we have uploaded reviews of. He started his own podcast, Gamer Looks 40, where he interviews people and talks about how games have affected their life. And it's a very well done documentary type podcast. You should definitely go listen to. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. We are on YouTube, and you can't find episodes you're looking for. Everything's on YouTube. Everything's on Podbean if you're having trouble finding stuff on Spotify or iTunes. And I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.